Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Path of Achra. If you were with us last time for our generic zero-turn build, we're doing a little slightly different build this time. This is a little bit less consistent of a build, way more fun though. It's a very fun build. Instead of Lachra for our speed engine is going to be based on charge. So we're not running with Lachra. We're actually running with this because this build is going to kill our allies a lot. And this build is looking to get as many procs of damage as physically possible. It does not matter how low the damage is because charge is going to be upping it. And obviously Druid because summons, and Agara because Agara is really good. We're going to start us off. We have our auto level on Dex for right now because we need just a little bit of extra help in this first level without... Our speed engine takes a little bit to get online properly. So if we don't have that little bit of extra help on the speed, the opening is a little bit more difficult. Okay, we've gotten a really... These enemies, this guy, we're going to have to reset. Oh, wait. Here's that exact scenario I talked about last time. We are probably going to lose this game turn. No, we didn't. See, that time we didn't. I don't see. I have literally to recall how this works. Literally every other time that in the last recording that happened. Okay. See, I don't understand how that works. It is now time for us to swap for willpower. We're going to ignore the fact that I have no clue how that works. We're going to swap on to our prestige class of Tamasa. On standstill, we're dealing fire damage to ourselves. We are doubling the stacks of charge on ourselves, applying a base 5. Then we're dealing fire damage to path of 2 enemies at any range, and then repeating with lightning damage. It also removes all non-charged effects from yourself, which is kind of nichely important, right? And then normally charge is removed on standstill, but not with this prestige class. Okay. So when we pray, our charge doubles, which doubles our speed, which doubles our damage. These are pretty decent gloves because for the glove spot, honestly, most items are kind of trash. Kind of trash mostly for the glove slot. For our third tree, we are going death because I really like Grave Chant on kill summon, right? And then on summon charge, speed, damage. Oh, well, charge damage, charge speed. And then we also have Necrokinesis because when we deal fire damage, we heal. When we heal, we do ice damage. Or not ice damage, death damage. Nope. You know what? I've completely forgotten. We need to start leveling Vigor immediately. We need to start immediately leveling Vigor. We want to get around 10,000 total health. We will put on this, and like, I'm not even going to put that on. It's like not even... It's going to do absolutely nothing for us. Because this build doesn't have any Berserk in it. Something is... Okay, I was going to say, something has a lot of health here. This level. So this is a lot more like... you know, why not? We'll go with that. It could be fun. This build is a lot harder to pull off than the other build that we did, the Liturgist build. But it's also incredibly strong. It has absolutely no problems with damage. You just need to survive. You need to survive your own damage. Is all. So we need a lot of healing to keep up with our damage. So as you can see, this is going to over double by the end of the next turn. Well, next action. 0 game turns pass. I have to double check, so I'm always paranoid. In my last run, I didn't even know when the game turn passed. It was like halfway through the run, I realized a game turn had passed. We're getting a pretty decent chunk of HP here. Now, if we were to get the Robe of Vigor as a drop, it's actually pretty decent because it gives you higher health when we level up our Vigor. I've only used it like one time, but I'm pretty sure it works. You get so much Vigor on level up that I can't really tell the difference, honestly. Okay, now this is a scenario where really what we do is really, really important here. So I personally never use this middle prayer unless I have to, because we need that divine intervention charge to be able to proc and save us from one of our instances. We're about to deal. I think we're going to deal 2,000 sling damage to ourselves. Let's see. Okay, cool. Where was it? Your vigor rise up to 75, plus 192 for the cycle. You recite, you stand still. You chill yourself for 25. Let's do yourself. Oh, I was on the very bottom. I didn't even see it. Yeah, 2,000. And it was at the very bottom. I didn't even see it. Okay. That's very silly of me. None of these items are super important, but we have 5,000 speed, so we're not really worried. And in case you're wondering, no, we cannot do Crow Visage on this build. Nope. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. You would die literally immediately. You would enter a level and then you would immediately blow up. I'm not even going to pretend like that's an option. Doesn't have a lot of health on that level. Not a lot of health there. And this is why keeping our healing capabilities up very high is important. We haven't gotten any good items in this run. No, we've got literally nothing. We're getting kind of handicapped by our items in this run. We don't have anything good. Hopefully, literally, like, we have nothing. Just making the run a lot harder. But the build doesn't really need items. It just makes it a lot better. Like, this is pretty good. We'll take that. These guys are kind of dangerous because I believe they're pretty fast. So if you're kind of close to them, it might not end well for you. We're going to put that on. We're looking at our options. Got Robo Vigor. Okay, that's pretty good. We're going to go there because that's the best that we're going to get. It's a little late in the game to get that, honestly. Like, if we got that on floor 1, we'd have so much more health. Well, I'd rather have it better late than never because I don't think there's anything super good in the chest slot for the build. Honestly, I don't think there's really anything. Honestly, the chest slot for most builds is pretty weak. Obviously, except for previous build where the chest slot was the most important part of the build. It's one of my favorite items, like Crimson Plating. Doesn't really come into play with this build, though, so. I'm missing one of my abilities. I don't know what it is yet. Probably go make sure I have all my have all the abilities for the build. I've not spent much time looking at them. Okay, what am I missing? It's kind of hard to. Oh, I'm missing Necromancy. That's probably one of our problems. We don't have Necromancy yet. Obviously, we're doing just fine. Clearly. What are we at for our flame healing level? 7? We're really not that far into the leveling process then. I've invested too much in the Grave Chant for. There's no reason to have 3 levels of Grave Chant if I don't have any Necromancy levels. Because the reason why we get kind of. The reason why we take Grave Chant is to kill our allies so we don't hit our summon cap. Die already, dude. Okay, we're going to go for. Oh, wait, you know what? Suddenly, I want to go look at the. I want to go look at our Robe of Vigor. Summoning failed. See, we're hitting the summon cap. Yeah, right there. Cool. Just wanted to see where it said that we gained extra 50 life. The log down here is really important to understanding how certain mechanics work, because sometimes it's very difficult to tell how something would interact without actually going down there and looking at the thing. Okay. 0 game turns have passed. Oh, wait. Hmm. See, now, the Berserker Axe and the Rage Fetish is pretty good. But in order to do that combo, we lose our on summon deal damage to closest enemy. So honestly, we're just gonna leave it as is. And we're not going to do that. Oh, ding 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 ding. Lightning staff. We honestly, we kind of just win. We kind of just win the game. With that. Our items are falling into place quite quickly, actually. Our helmet slot doesn't really matter. There's one item that's pretty decent for the helmet slot. There's a couple items. I'd take one of the healing ones because why not? Obviously, we take a lot of damage, so healing is pretty good. It might give us an extra round or two, extra action or two. If we have a buttload of healing. Our charge gain, our like initial charge gain is kind of low. So it takes us for a while to ramp, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, honestly, because it just gives you more time before you blow yourself up. So I think that investing highly into Fulminate Cult is really unnecessary, but sometimes I probably overinvest into it. We'll probably try not putting any more into Fulminate Cult. We're probably set on that. We just kind of scale a little bit slow. And our willpower is actually really, really low. Oops. But I'm pretty happy with 12k health, honestly. One of these Tamasa runs would be pretty cool to get the Robe of Vigor in the first room so that you can get like 15,000. Like, you probably have a lot more health. You had it from the start of the game. So basically, it's kind of smooth sailing. There's really nothing besides like some really bad RNG or literally me misplaying and accidentally wasting the game turn that's going to stop us at this point. Because I feel like with perfect play, like let's check this out. Curse, shock, burn, heal, curse, charge, burn yourself. As you can see, almost all this damage is coming from the charge. Like it could be as small as it can be, and actually, I'm gonna show you. This is how the wrap things works, right? It's kind of counterintuitive, and I'll explain this now in case you don't know how it works. We're dealing lightning damage, right? And then it's taking that 25%. It's kind of counterintuitive because we're doing 25% of that damage, yet we do more with the fire damage. That's because it's taking 25% of this 10,000, which is about 2,500. Perfect kind of example. But then it's also applying the willpower, right? And it's also applying the charge, which makes this example not as good of an example. But like if our willpower was a lot higher, this would be a bigger discrepancy between these two values here. So the 25% redeals are actually really, really good. They're better than you would think at a glance. They're actually really, really good. Little tangent there in case you didn't, in case you hadn't come to the, that's why they got nerfed. It's because they were 50% before and they were really, really good. I just thought I would explain that because that was the thing that I didn't even know about for a while myself. I didn't really realize why that was. It's one of those things that makes perfect sense within the mechanics of the game, but you might not think about it that way. One lesson that I've learned about this game is that what it says, it means, and like it means it. It might not seem like it might seem obvious, but like everything changed together and everything works out in the end, really. Like it goes all the way down. Like I said, nothing. We'll even go here because these guys are really tanky. Like We'll go here because I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of them. More necromancy. At this point, the only things we're scared of is bad luck, like spawning really close to the Voxite mid-boss guy or the king doing 300,000 damage to us in a single instance of damage. Boom. On some builds, I really like Bone Skirt, but this build obviously isn't really doing any blood damage. Take a sip of my beverage while we're just kind of cruising. Just kind of cruising. I would recommend to never use a second prayer at this part of the game. I actually lost one of my runs a little bit earlier while prepping for this video because I was careless and I hit the middle prayer. I was thinking, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll hit the middle prayer. And then I didn't have any prayer for divine intervention. Well, you can use it on like the first couple rounds where you're obviously not going to die. But like around now, you should never use it because obviously it doubles exponentially. Like, I suppose you could open with it. I just don't like it because I like to have it always the option always available to me. Because if you hit divine intervention and this thing gets procced instead of this one or this one, that takes away like 12 of your prayer actions. So like you're kind of screwed at that point. It's really important. Yeah, this guy is like an absolute jump for this build because he only has a one range. And so, sad part is we don't really have any itemization for our head slot. Well, and this one is like pretty good. It's probably the best that we're going to get. It's funny that the gloves are only like a 2-tile range, and then the staff is any range. It's like crazy. Like, and this our like culture ability is actually really good because every time an ally is dying, we're getting a free proc of damage, and every like what's it called actually? You can go look at it. It's called Valor. Right here. Okay. Oh, okay. He's highly resistant, so this isn't really not really a good example for that guy. I like that one. That's just like a free 2,000 damage from our culture every time we get a kill on our allies. Well, on ally death is a little bit different than on kill, so because enemies can kill them too. This is actually a new addition to my build. The that culture. Before I was trying some of the other ones, but this one is like obviously the best because it's just a whole other proc of damage. That's just like obviously just better. Still 0 game turns. We got lots of health. We got lots of healing. I don't even know if we're how invested are we in flame healing? Only 7. This is like the least I've ever had invested in flame healing. I might not have enough invested in it for the later levels. We'll see. We'll see when I get blown up and I'll have to restart the video. Okay. We're getting in dangerous territory now. I can't even see the guy, but he's probably close to being dead because we're doing lots of damage right now. See, burn, shock, or curse, shock, burn. All right. We still have our divine intervention up and a lot of health. So this turn, we're gonna get dealt 6,000 damage, and then next turn we should be pretty healthy, and then but it's gonna do 12,000 damage to us, which is gonna proc our divine intervention. So if we don't kill him on that turn, and we stand still, we're gonna die. But we can step, which is not going to give us, it's not gonna damage us. So that's what we're gonna do then. Okay, and he died, so it didn't matter. But that's something to think about. How are our items looking? Okay. Why isn't my tab working? There we go. I should be fine to pick these items up. It's kind of close, but this one, okay. I'm probably swapping out the poison staff for this because that one is really fun. That's a really good one. Because this is on summon, but the other one's on kill. We are going to get that. I'm going to level up more. So we're basically always going to kill our summons, right? Is my kind of thought process. And we can also kill enemies. And when our speed gets really high, I believe our speed is going to get tacked onto our hit. And this does damage based off of our hit. So I guess we'll see. We'll go. Oh, I'm really tempted to try this guy. But like, we're going to do it. We'll do it live. It's going to, let me look at his abilities. Wait. I have really no clue what this guy does. Okay. He summons lots of things on turn, right? So as long as we're not standing next to him, we should be fine from that ability. We're not going to be stepping. Okay. Hit. Okay. And what's his range? Range of 1. Okay. This guy doesn't look scary. We're going to go. He doesn't look very scary. I don't think I've ever done this level before. Okay. If you don't have enough damage, I'm not worried about being killed necessarily. I'm worried about not having the damage before I like blow myself up. But I think that this build is strong enough that should not be a problem. We'll see if we can get by with 10 flame healing. We'll see if we can get by with that. Actually, it should tell us in here, right? Yeah, each point, a speed above 100 is added to your hit. So every speed above 100. Okay, so our hit, yep, is being added a little bit too from our charge. Okay. I might have fought this guy before, but it's just really dangerous when you're doing really well in a run. Like, there's literally no reason for me to risk it like this. Like, I don't gain anything from doing this. But I really shouldn't be worried about it. Let's see, how much health does he have? Ooh, that's a lot of health, isn't it? That's a lot of health. We're kind of chunking him. We're chunking him. What's our hit looking like? So our hit is pretty. Okay, let's look at two sword. Our toothed sword, rend, 19 plus charge plus willpower. That's not too bad. Oh yeah, we're fine. Oof. Wow, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that we were taking so much damage there. Okay. This item is pretty good. I like it because we kill our unit and then we do like a really large AoE of the other units. And if I didn't have the two sword, maybe I'd run it, but these guys are very, very dangerous because on player summon they inflame, and then when you step, they're gonna blow you up. So they're gonna teleport you and blow you into a billion pieces. So you cannot. I'm not even gonna go there because he's very dangerous. So if he summons the king, and I don't kill them all, I might be in trouble. But we'll see when I get there. I'm gonna grab a flame healing because I'm scared. Okay, even though it's kind of an irrational, fear of my death there. Cool. Still on 0 turns. Everything is going very nicely. We just need to not succumb to, some bad RNG or a complete misplay. This is a build where you need to not misplay. You need to know what you're doing a little bit, and you need to not mess up. Because if you mess up, you're gonna die. You're gonna blow up into a million, billion little pieces. But I have done this build quite a few times, so I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident that we got this one in the bag. We're now at 50 willpower, right? Yeah. Okay, so before we go in, you know what? We could just put. The thing is, like, if we had any meditate, this would be really good. But yeah, I'm just gonna send all of it. We don't really need any of this. I would have liked an Agni helm, an Emerald helm, or the Lightning mask, but I didn't see them, or maybe I wasn't paying attention, or it was on one of the other routes that I didn't go. Our willpower, we're not even really hitting our cap, so it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of funny because we summon a lot of guys, but we still don't really hit the cap because we're killing too many of them. That's why we have some levels in Grave Chant, is so that when we where I have it, that's a 3 AoE. 1, 2, 3. Kills our guys. Maybe. Didn't even kill them. But that's the idea. The idea is for it to kill them. But there we go. They're dead. A little bit more flame healing. There's no harm in it. There's no harm in a little bit of flame healing. There's no harm in it. Okay. Smooth sailing. Okay. Here we are. As in the olden days. See, here they are. Okay, here he is. Okay. He's not scary. Right? He has the arbiters, which means we cannot move. See, 50,000 hit. We cannot step. In theory, I believe we can step as long as every square is occupied. Like, he can't teleport. If I walk onto a square where my ally is and all the other squares are occupied, he cannot teleport there. But we're not going to take that risk, especially because we deal damage a lot to our allies. So it wouldn't really work. We're going to stand right here and pray, literally and figuratively, and probably get the win. I'm going to use this one so that if I get the divine intervention, it's going to be one of these and not this. Obviously, we're never hitting this one because I like to have that option open. And it looks like he's over there and everything else is dead. So it should be a smooth sailing from there. It is possible, maybe, that there's an arbiter over here and I can't see him. And if I need to step here in a second, I get blown up by the arbiter. Because soon I'm going to need to step if he doesn't die. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to pray. I'm going to take 11,000 damage, and my divine intervention is going to go off. All right. And then if he's not dead, I have to step. And my lightning staff is going to deal damage to him. But my speed is so high that my lightning damage, everything, all of my damage is escalated to an insane degree. So we're at the... Okay, there he goes. Sometimes we need another turn. Look at that. Crazy. Okay. We win. Boom. Stats. 0 game turns. Let's get a screenshot for the Discord. Cool. And that is the Tamasa 0 turn. Not too hard. Takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of practice. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section. I appreciate if you like the video and whatnot, and I'll see you guys next time.